Yo, what's up guys, it's Demilich, welcome to the channel. In this video we're going to talk about more advanced tips and features of the maps, and other useful tricks. These features are really important and you need to know them if you want to turn the match in your favor. My goal is to teach you how to play better and create more competitive environment within the game. So, watch this video till the end and without further ado, let's begin. When you encounter pressure from your opponent in the early stages of the game, beginners usually tend to stay in a place at their base and not move anywhere at all. Although in principle, if you control all your points and don't allow your opponent to capture them, this tactic isn't that bad overall. Sometimes your build order simply doesn't allow for aggressive counter pressure, and in this case it's perfectly fine to only defend your points. You can play defensively and inflict losses on your opponent, however, you should not give up your points to them, as this can shift the balance against you. Additionally, you shouldn't give up critical locations, as they can provide you with extra resources, preventing your opponent from getting them while also giving you a better understanding of what's happening on the map. The aforementioned tactic is viable, but there is also a second approach. You can organize a small defense to protect your points at the base and maybe build a minimal army. At the same time, you can apply counter pressure on your opponent, forcing them to micromanage more and get distracted. If you manage to destroy their generator point or armory, it could be critical for them and they might not recover from such losses. Therefore, it's worth doing. Also, much will depend on both your and your opponent's microcontrol. But sometimes you might also unexpectedly lose something yourself in the process. When armies meet face to face on a battlefield exchanging fire, you can focus on specific models, such as surgeons or those with plasma guns. To do this, you simply need to redirect your fire to the specific model. Also, for example, if you see that your listening post can't be saved, perhaps because your army is too small and you are waiting for reinforcements, or you are too far away, you can redirect your LP fire to more expensive models, forcing your opponent to spend more resources. By doing this, you gain an advantage once again, so it's worth remembering this and using it to your benefit. If you are attacking in the two places and in one of them you are only facing an enemy listening post, you can use a few free models from Worker Squad or building templates to redirect damage to them. On the screen you can see the main building templates available to the factions or their workers. Not all factions have this option. For example, Tau cannot do this. However, there is risk of losing a worker or the building, so you should be cautious when using this tactic. You will also need to move your worker to the safe spot, which takes time and micromanagement. As far as I know, this isn't against the rule, and the community doesn't prohibit this tactic, so feel free to use it. Many players simply don't bother with this or forget about it on a battlefield, so once again, use it to your advantage. Every map in the game has its own features, and many maps have areas that are very difficult to escape from without a jump or a teleport. On the screen you can see all 1 vs 1 maps with such areas, quite a few of them as you can see. In these areas you can trap at least a squad of scouts or even your opponent's entire army. Getting out of there is very difficult, sometimes even impossible, and it's often easier to just accept the fight and lose everything or try to fend off the attack. It might sometimes seem like a minor detail that cannot decide the outcome of the battle, but for example, losing one squad of scouts still means time spent on their creation, resources on their replenishment, a point left uncaptured, or having to use a combat squad instead of capping squad, leading to lost resources and positions. You should only give up a position or point if you have a good plan to trade them for something valuable. Then it makes sense. If you don't have such a plan or opportunities, then you shouldn't passively give everything away. Now, let's talk about timings in this game and how to use them on specific maps. Each map has different distance to various points, and it's important to develop your build order that allows you to capture them with high or even 100% certainty. This can be achieved either by quickly capturing key positions with your first cappers or by securing them with strong range combat units that, for example, arrive just as you're about to capture a point to protect you and eliminate enemies' decappers. Each faction and each map have their own features and timings, so I can't give you a universal recipe for all of them. However, I encourage you to develop your own build order, or at least watch replays to see how others do it on certain maps. Sometimes your micromanagement may be just as good as that of a professional player, but because they know exactly when and where to create problems for you or how to best defend their positions, they gain an advantage. I would even say that the start build order typically accounts for about 20-30% of success. Yes, you might be right if you say that this aspect makes the game boring and predictable, where everything follows the same script. But this only applies to the first 3-5 minutes of the game. After that, the match will still unfold in an unpredictable way. Well, let's bring this episode to the end. I don't know if there will be another part in the future or this is the last one, but I can definitely say that if a new part does come out, it won't be anytime soon, as it's quite challenging to find more topics that are relevant to all races in this game. Nonetheless, I have a lot of ideas and materials of a different nature, so there will be definitely content here that will be useful for fans of Dawn of War Soulstorm. Thanks to everyone who watched till the end. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share this video if you can. See you next time.